Alright, the game has begun, and I think Leong Shu Pan is going first, should be.
Yeah, that seems to be the case from the gesturing.
Yep. Okay, Leong Shu Pan is pondering over what will his play. He actually normal summons Tri-Brigade Kit. He's probably going to link summon into Al-Miraj. Yeah, right. He goes for Salaman Great Al-Miraj and uses Kit's effect to mill one Tri-Brigade from the deck to the graveyard. I think he'll be milling Nerval. So Nerval will allow him to search for another Tri-Brigade monster, I guess. So he searched for Karas, and Karas' effects actually, because he actually used up his normal summon already, right? So Karas' effect will allow him to special summon himself by discarding one, sending one Beast Warrior or Wing Beast or Beast. Okay, and he special summons Karas, and he actually banishes two Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior from the graveyard to special summon out Bear Bloom, Tri-Brigade Bear Bloom. He goes for Link Summon, probably Link 3 or Rugal. I guess it's Rugal.
Yes.
Yep, and Rugal is Link Summon, and he's using Bear Bloom's effect to probably search for Reckoning, I think. Search for the Tri-Brigade Revolt. Yeah, Revolt. Okay, so the judge is actually telling him where to put his grave and his banished card so that not to confuse both players itself in case if any discrepancies happens. So K-Sum allows the passing of Bear Bloom's effect to search for one Tri-Brigade card and add it to the hand. And after that, Shupan will then have to select one card and return it to the bottom of the deck, I guess.
Yes.
So it searches for Revolt, Tri-Brigade Revolt. You know, when I take a look at the Tri-Brigade deck, right, previously it was at the top of meta because they actually restricted lots of like VFD for the virtual and whatnot. So Tri-Brigade took quite a snip shot to the top for quite a while.
For the whole format, actually.
Yeah, and it was able to generate a lot of advantage through one Revolt. Just one Revolt allows you a lot of advantage. So that set card would be Revolt, and he just passes his turn over to K-Sum. But guys, when you activate the Tri-Brigade Revolt, right, you really have to think carefully on how many banished monsters do you want to bring back from your banished piles.
Indeed.
Yeah, in order to generate the most advantage for your Shurite if it gets destroyed also as well, because it relies on the banished pile. Okay, so K-Sum activates, start off his turn with a Terraforming to search for Area 0. I see it as a holographic card in his hand. I think that is Harpy's Feather Duster.
Possibly.
He should activate Harpy's Feather Duster now, but in this case, it wouldn't do much harm against Shupan because he could go for Shurike and withhold Shurike's effect to banish a card because he still has Rugal's effect to bring back another Beast Warrior later, another Tri-Brigade later to activate Shurike's effect to banish a card. Okay, so he activates Area 0, Field Spell Zone. Try to get a response for Shupan, but Shupan passes and he sets a card. So that Area 0 should be targeting the card to be sent to the graveyard if he managed to excavate a Sky Striker card. So Shupan also passes on the respawn, and K-Sum activates Area 0 to try to excavate the top 3 card of his deck. So it's Maxi, Ash Blossom, and Multi-Roll. So Multi-Roll is being excavated, which means the set card is going to be sent to the graveyard. And the set card is a Widow Anchor. Prismatic Secret Rare. I think both players looking at their list, they think they have quite high rarity cards for their stuff. And he activates a Harpy Feather Duster. So this at this point of time, Liu Shupan has to think whether if he brings out Shurike, right? Okay, he needs to think whether he wants to banish off the Area 0 or not. Because if he doesn't, then the multi-roll will come out, use his effect to send Area 0 to the grave and bring out Raid, right? Though we have to note that the monsters that can bring back, he can only bring back Nerval, Karas, and then Kit and another Nerval. And then go for a Link 4 Link Summon, which is Shurike. He's unable to bring back Bear Bloom because it was not properly Link Summoned, right? It's being called by the Tri-Brigade's effect. So Shurike's Link 1, Link 2 Nerval, and Link 3 Kit. So if we are resolving this chain, it will be Kit to send a Tri-Brigade card from the deck to the graveyard, Nerval searches, and Shrek is able to banish.
And this is a most powerful play of Tri-Brigade that pivots them to the top.
Correct.
It's through the use of a single revolt that they are able to generate massive card advantage.
Yep. And K-Sam actually counters Kit with a Caught by the Grave, but he allows Nerval to pass by searching for a Tri-Brigade monster, and then he allows Shurak to go and banish a card.
Nerval adds Fractal to the hand.
Yeah, Fractal to the hand. Fractal, I think this is like a backup plan for next turn to generate more resource in the grave. Right. So next turn you can Fractal actually throw off Kit, and Kit throw off another Nerval. Then you can search for another star, maybe a Karas to normal summon or special summon. Okay. So I guess he activated Shurai's effect just now to banish off the remaining area 0 on the field. And K-Sam is left with an excavated multi-roll in the hand with something else. We know he activated the Harpy's Feather Duster. The Widow Anchor is sent for area 0, and he has an excavated multi-roll. He activates the triple tactical talents, right?
Correct.
Triple tactics talent. I think that's the official name. And he chooses to draw 2 cards, replenishing his resources in the hand. I still don't see any Fusion Destiny plays yet. Oh, and it comes. Alright, the Fusion Destiny is activated, allowing K-Sam to send probably Dasher and Celestial from the deck to the graveyard to bring out our favorite Destiny hero, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer.
Oh.
He has a Celestial in the hand. That's not actually very good, but I think it's fine. In the next turn, if K-Sam is out of hand cards, he can use Celestial's effect to draw 2.
And this is what makes a Fusion Destiny so good. Because even if you draw the material, you can still use them from hand.
Correct. And most of the materials, they are very easy to normal summon. I mean, Dasher only requires 1 tribute. You will very rarely need to tribute summon it. But Celestial is one that is able to play out to a lot of situations also as well. So, okay, so Phoenix Enforcer, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is being special summoned onto the extra monster zone. And Destroy Phoenix Enforcers is going to the battle phase. K-Sam is going to the battle phase. Though do note that Destroy Phoenix Enforcers destruction effect, right, is being withheld by Leong Shu Pan's Salaman-Grade Almiraj. At any point of time, if K-Sam decides to destroy his card, he can use Almiraj to prevent the destruction, and thus, preventing one of his cards to be destroyed. So Shu Pan uses the Rugal effect to bring back Nerval during the main end of the main phase and going to the battle phase. He uses Almiraj to protect one of his cards. Probably.
No, he did not. I think.
Right. Yeah. He uses Almiraj effect. That's a quick effect to tribute and to target on Shurai. Yes. Then K-Sam then goes for attacking Rugal, because actually Destroy Phoenix Enforcer also has another effect, which is for each Destiny hero or each hero monster in your graveyard, your opponent's monsters are down. Attack is down by 200 for each of them. So you got 2, right? 2 hero cards, then is down by 400. So Rugal, I think, is 2003, is dropped to 1900.
And this will be the first damage for the game.
Yep.
So K-Sam, although he did manage to pull off a bit of a counter play, but Shu Pan still has the advantage, I believe.
Correct.
So.
And since the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, he's probably going to destroy Nerval, and Nerval has already searched this turn, preventing Shu Pan from searching again. As K-Sam activates Destroy Phoenix Enforcer's effect to return the next turn, Shu Pan counters with a Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. So it's Shu Pan's turn.
This game will be for Shu Pan to take.
Yeah, I guess so.
He does not make any major misplay.
Correct. He normal summons Fog Troll. So Fog Troll will then, I think, banish the remaining Beast Warrior monsters. Probably 2, I guess. 2 to bring out the Senka warriors, I guess.
I think he might be going for 4 and bring out another Shura.
Oh, double Shurai, which is for 7,900 damage, I guess. How many did he banish?
3.
3 could be another Rugal, or you know, the one that banishes the yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's the Wing Beast Link monster.
Yep, the Wing Beast Link monster is able to return or banish a card in the opponent's graveyard.
In this case, since K-Sam is low on cards, he might want to banish Celestial from the graveyard.
Correct.
This will prevent him from drawing cards on next turn that will give him a chance to make a comeback.
Correct. Though he could go for the draw phase in drawing a Ray and special summon via Dash's effect. So that monster that he bring up was the Heartsalver, the Desperate Doom Eagle. Ah, the Celestial is actually being shuffled back to the deck. So after shuffling, he goes for Link 4 play, which is Access Kontak. I guess this will seal the game because Access Kontak will gain 3000 attack, and then both will go in for about 8300 damage. And that is game 1, win towards Leong Shupan.
Indeed.
Yep.
He had control of this game and he did not make any major misplay.
Correct. And he has all the, I guess he has all the absolute counters towards Destroy Phoenix guy.
Yes.
With the, I think, you know, Tri-Brigade was the meta previously, right? Then it dropped off, so not a lot of people actually continued to play Ghost Spell in the main deck because they weren't thinking about fighting against another Tri-Brigade, right? But I guess with the inclusion of Destroy Phoenix Enforcer in the main deck these days for various decks, they decided to put in the Ghost Spell.
Indeed.
Yeah, because only Ghost Spell or Caught by the Grave can possibly stop the Phoenix Enforcer from returning back to the field. That's why.
Yes. Yeah. Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is so prevalent in the meta game right now that many decks that were not heavily disrupted by hand traps are now running Caught to the Grave as an option against Destroy Phoenix.
Correct. Because I think all they want to do is they don't mind losing a 1 card for the destruction for Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, but they just want to prevent it from coming back.
Correct. They will chain to the graveyard effect.
Correct. Just for you guys to know, you have to actually use Ghost Spell or Caught by the Grave the moment Phoenix Enforcer, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer activates the effect. You should not use the Caught by the Grave after it's activated, because even though you banish the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, in the next turn for the standby phase, it will still return a D hero from the graveyard, which you do not want that to happen. So looking at the stuff, which the Tri-Brigade and the Sky Striker, what do you think will go first who do you think will go first in the next turn? Do you think that K-Sam will be going first? If fighting against the Tri-Brigade?
This is hard to say, but I think there's a good chance that he would choose to go first. Simply because Tri-Brigade themselves, they are very weak against spell or threats. So people tend to play things like Lightning Storm to destroy all their face-out Link monster. So to counter this, Tri-Brigade players normally would side Imperial Order or Anti-Spell Fragrance in their side deck. So these 2 trap cards could be used against Sky Striker. So I think K-Sam will want to avoid playing from behind against Anti-Spell Fragrance or Imperial Order. So I think going first might be the better choice.
Going first, set up your field first, generate all your advantage before it's being locked down by either the Anti-Spell Fragrance or the Imperial Order. Though if Shupan is actually anticipating that he will be going second, I guess the usual side deck cards that people will go for, that has mentioned in the previous match against Sky Striker, will be like Evenly Match, Lightning Storm, Cosmic Cyclones. I think those are the ones against Sky Striker itself. And I do note that some people these days, maybe they're putting in more of the Kaiju Gamacell. Kaiju Gamacell, because against the Sky Striker, they could tribute maybe their Kagari, their Link monsters, right? And place the Kaiju onto the main monster zone, thus preventing all of the Sky Striker spells from activating. Oh, so K-Sam gives Shupan to go first. He allows him to go first, which K-Sam probably side in a lot more hand trap to fight against Shupan, and probably even citing stuff like, you know, the Evenly Match, or I'm not too sure, like stuff to like prevent, like
I think Nibiru would be a good choice.
Nibiru, Lancia to prevent him from banishing, prevent Shupan from banishing would be good. Okay, so Shupan starts off with Tanky.
And that's Fractal to hand.
So Fractal would discard itself, activate the effect to then send another Tri-Brigade from the deck to graveyard.
I believe it will be a Kid.
Then Kid will send Nerval. Yeah, it's going as planned. And then Nerval will be able to search for probably a Karas.
Or he could add any other Tri-Brigade at hand, since he has not used his normal summon for this turn yet.
Yeah, the Karas is usually searched for an option to special summon.
Alright, he went for Kid.
Yep. So Kid is added to the hand. Do note that a few of the Tri-Brigade monsters' effect has already been used, such as Frog Troll, and Kid as well as Nerval's effect, Grave effect has already been used, leaving all their special summon effects and Karas yet to be used. So Shulpan activates the Pot of Desires, banishing the top 10 cards of his deck face down in order to draw 2 cards. And Kaysam has no response to that. So I guess no Ash Blossom.
That seems to be the case.
Yep, and we see that Shulpan has banished quite a bit of his hand traps, like Ash Blossoms, Ghost Bells, Effect Veilers, all face down. I think because he was already expecting to go second, so he set in more hand traps. Okay, his normal summon Kids, and he's probably going to use the effect to banish 2 or 3 from his graveyard to bring out maybe Bear Bloom or Farragut.
That will be a similar play as game 1, where he uses it to get Revolt to hand.
Correct. But however, in this case, when Shulpan normal summons, even before he's allowed to activate the effect, Kaysam counters with a Lancia, preventing both players from banishing cards in this turn.
Oh! Check his banished cards for a moment, making sure that his Lancia wasn't banished.
Yes.
So he could activate his own Crossout Designator
to banish Lancia and allow his cards to be banished in that turn.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that Kaysam does not have another Lancia, because I think the last time I read, Lancia can be activated 2 or 3 times in the turn. It's not restricted to 1. Let me just give that a check, guys. Let me just give it a check. Yeah, from what I know, Lancia does not have a once per turn effect. If you have 3 copies, you can use 3 all in 1 turn. Alright, he uses Kid's effect to bring out Bear Bloom and goes for Link 3 Link Summon into Rogel. And Bear Bloom's effect will allow him to search for Tri-Brigade Revolt, and then he has to select 1 card from his hand to put it at the bottom of the deck. So as you can see from here, obviously this play, including the Crossout Designator, has generated a lot of advantage for Shulpan. He has a Revolt set up in his next play. He has enough banished monsters. He has like Kid, Nerval, all in the grave to bring back via Revolt and generate more searches the next time.
It's a fantastic opening play.
Yes.
And he's looking to lock down this game as well.
Yeah. So he sets down 1 card, which is Revolt. I think we know all is a Revolt, and it passes to Kaysam, and Kaysam draws into the Sky Striker Hornet drones. Kaysam also has a Engage in the hand.
So he does have some options here.
Yeah. Which I think he's glad that at least the set card he knows is Revolt and it's not Imperial Order, so he can feel free to activate all of his spells. So Shulpan is okay, no response. I guess, I mean, we know most of his Ash Blossoms are being banished in the banished pile because of the Pot of Desires. So Kaysam searches. What do you think will be able to turn the tables for, what cards should he search to turn the tables for this game?
I think Jamming Wave or other Afterburner might be an option. Ideally, he needs a way to forcefully activate Revolt first, so that Revolt will not be able to banish his cards later on.
I agree.
I mean, sorry, Shurek.
Yeah, Shurek, yeah. Though he suggests for Widow Anchor, I think possibly just to prevent the Shurike from activating in the first place.
Oh, that's an option as well.
Because if he searches Jamming Wave and he destroys Revolt, he will still link summon Shurike, right? Then he will still be able to use the Rugo's effect to bring back another beast to activate Shurike later on. So I guess maybe Widow Anchor is better because you just negate off Shurike and continue your plays. K-Sam activates Hornet Drones to bring out a Sky Tracker token. But Shupan responds with Maxi. So the more K-Sam special summons, the more advantage Shupan is gonna get in this turn. And it's not looking good for K-Sam. Shupan draws one because of Maxi. I think he drew upon another Revolt from what I can see from there. K-Sam decided to commit into Link Summoning. He Link summons Hayate. And Shupan draws another card, which is another copy of Maxi.
This is not looking good for K-Sam.
Yes.
Shupan still has the option of activating Revolt to special summon Shurike, which in turn could banish Hayate.
Yeah, but I guess you'll do it in a better phase also as well.
In this case, K-Sam, because he does not have Ray in the graveyard yet.
Yep.
So that would basically
mean that it's cut off of resources for K-Sam. He has no backup plan. Correct. But even though if he brings back Ray, it will let Shupan draw another card. So you are further contributing to Shupan's advantage over here. So Shurike is Link Summon.
I think this is likely to force a Widow Anchor.
Yeah. So Shurike is a Link, Chain 1, Chain 2 Nerval, Chain 3 Kit. And Chain 4, K-Sam actually uses Widow Anchor to target Shurike. So Kit is sending a card to the grave as we resolve the chains backwards. Can't see what did he send. So now it's Nerval's turn to search for a Tri-Brigade monster. He searched for another kit, or I think it's the last kit, is it, to search into the hand?
I believe so.
Okay, and Shupan takes the attack from the Hayate, dealing 1,500 life points to his own life, and Hayate's effect will probably activate in this turn to send a Sky Striker card from the deck to the graveyard. So K-Sam activates Hayate's effect.
I think, and he sends
Ray
to the graveyard.
Yeah, he sends Ray to the graveyard, hoping that this will provide a backup plan during Shupan's turn if Hayate is being removed from the field. But little does K-Sam know that Shupan actually drew upon another Maxi. So K-Sam decided to commit again with another special summon, and Shupan gets to draw one because of Maxi. And Shupan drew into a Caught by the Grave, which he probably will use to target the Ray in the grave later, preventing Ray from coming back. So Kagari is activating his effect.
He has added Engage back to hand.
Ah, okay. Does he have 3 spells in the grave? Or...
I believe not. The Engage itself was the 3rd spell.
Ah, okay.
So he's still short of 1 more spell.
I see. Would he be willing to sacrifice? Actually, he hasn't normal summoned this turn.
Oh, indeed.
But he decides to target his Kagari. And nothing is being added. Right, so K-Sam has to shuffle his deck, and it's a miss. Maybe he was trying to see if there's any way to generate some more cards out using the Area 0 to try to get another spell so that his Engage could then draw a card later on. But another play could be actually K-Sam could activate Engage first, search for multi-roll. Then you can actually use multi-roll to just set there, and then you activate the Area 0. Then you can actually set back the Widow Anchor. So at least you got a play against the Shrike the next turn. So K-Sam searches for multi-roll now.
It's a rather late multi-roll, but there's not much options he has in
Yes,
this
so he
situation.
activates multi-roll now. And K-Sam decides to go for another Link Summon, giving Shupan another card to draw. I think at this point of time, the difference in advantage is very obvious here. Yeah, if you can look at the amount of cards that Shupan has drew due to Maxi itself, is enough to turn the tide against the Sky Striker.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think even if Shupan loses his whole board in this turn,
Yes.
he could still recover purely from cards in his hand.
Correct. And before K-Sam enters his main phase, right? Shupan activates Rugal effect to revive Keras from the grave. And at the end of the turn, this Keras will be returned back to the hand, if I'm not wrong, due to Rugal's effect.
So K-Sam activates the effect of Shizuku during the end phase.
Yeah, to search for Shark Cannon.
And he activates Shark Cannons immediately.
Yeah.
So while banishing any of the Tri-Brigade isn't the main purpose for this play. It's more of to add a counter to multi-roll so that he could set the Widow Anchor back.
Correct. And then during the end of the turn, Shupan uses the Keras to return back to the hand that is spell summoned by Rugal's effect. So Shupan's turn, he drew into the Forbidden Chalice.
Look at Shupan's hand.
He has a lot of hand cards because Maxi contributed greatly to this, and to note, he has another Maxi in his hand, which is just ready to use as a prevention to K-Sam. I tell you that if you want to use Ray to come back this turn, I'm prepared for you to let me draw more cards.
You went straight for a special summon of Keras by discarding Kid.
Yep. And then K-Sam activates Widow Anchor, targeting Shrike when Shupan activates Shrike's effect to target the card to banish it. And because there's 3 spells in K-Sam's grave, he's able to take control of Shupan's Shrike. So Keras is banishing Beast Warrior, and Wing Beast from his graveyard right now.
Oh, no, his effect has to resolve
effect
first.
is sending Nerval, sorry.
Alright.
And Nerval is using the effect to search, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he has much Tri-Brigades left in his
Yes.
deck after
the
going through so
revolt
much of his
and
resource.
the sending the graveyard and searching. So he searches for the Fog Troll so he can normal summon later because he haven't conducted his normal summon yet. Keras was special summoned by his own effect. The thing now is, right, he needs to think of a way to maybe get rid of the Shrike, the multi-roll, and also hopefully dealing an OTK over to K-Sam. But do note, this is actually Shupan's first summon for the turn. K-Sam actually has a Nibiru in the hand, if you noticed just now, which he was unable to use because Shupan didn't commit to 5 summons that turn. So he actually summons the Desperate Doom Eagle again.
Oh, and he uses it to shuffle Ray back into the deck.
He didn't need to use the Caught by the Grave in the hand. He's probably saving for other stuff. With that, he has no worries about destroying Shizuku. He just destroys Shizuku peacefully and no Ray will jump up to block the attack, to go into Kaina even to block another attack. Right, he goes for, I guess, a Link 4 summon for Access Code Talker to clear off K-Sam's field, and do note this is only the 3rd summon for the turn. Right, you plus 3,000 attack points for Access Code Talker. Actually, the whole field is about 8,300 points right now. Shupan can banish off a few of his Link monsters that are of different attributes, destroying all the cards in K-Sam's field, right? And Shupan can go in direct attack for the game, 8,300 attack points. The thing is, first card he was targeting is Shrike. Actually, for myself, right? If let's say Access Code Talker doesn't have you cannot respond to its effect, they probably would go and destroy the back row first. Because these days, I think a lot of players are running Gamma, like side frame gear Gamma. But luckily, Access Code Talker has that immunity towards chaining.
So when Shrike hits the graveyard, Shupan uses his effect to add DD Crow from deck to hand.
Correct.
So that's an interesting card that I believe is from his side deck.
Yep.
That he added in this matchup. So DD Crow is an interesting card. It's able to be used against Ray or Destroy Phoenix Enforcer.
Correct. Ray, or even if, let's say, Kagari targets the engage, you could jolly well just throw the DD Crow and prevent the card from being salvaged back to the hand. So he goes into the battle phase, and if all the direct attack is successful, K-Sam's life points will reduce to 0. K-Sam is taking a look at his hand to see if there's anything could stop this from happening, any situation. But we know that one of the cards is Nibiru, which the activation condition is not fulfilled.